So, willkommen zurück zum nächsten Video. Diesmal habe ich ausführlich den Ton getestet und der lief bei jedem Testrun und ich war perfekt zu verstehen und der Ingame-Ton lief auch. Also wenn das jetzt immer noch nicht geht, dann weiß ich auch nicht, was los ist. Dann gebe ich einfach auf. Genau. Heute machen wir Ganyu Questline, einfach zack zack durch. Ich war ein bisschen spät zur Party, aber Zeit haben ist eh was für Anfänger. So, und ich finde immer noch, hier oben sollte eine Kiste sein. Dann halt nicht.
It's shocking how much work there is to do, even for the three of us.
And she's been handling it alone all along. The Qixing secretary clearly isn't an ordinary person. It's so frustrating.
You're just...
Aren't you Ningguang's servants? How come you're here?
We are Miss Ningguang's private secretaries, not servants.
Have you seen Miss Ganyu, traveler?
Coco
It
Gold!
has been several days since Ganyu
Ah, wie
left for
gute
Julian
Kokosziege.
Karst. She's the general secretary of the Liyue Qixing. We've only taken over her responsibilities until she gets back.
Even though the Qixing have made peace with the Adepti after the latter had denounced Liyue, they still want to pay their respects to the Illuminated Ones. They commissioned Ganyu as their envoy to deliver a letter to Julian Karst and bring the Adepti the latest news about the crisis. Still, Ganyu should have been back to her usual responsibilities by now, but she's disappeared without a trace.
Is that so? Maybe Ganyu just took a little detour. Who can blame her after working so hard?
I'm afraid
Schön
it's not
gerendert
very
das Spiel.
likely.
Habt ihr es da hinten
Ever
gesehen?
since we met Ms. Ganyu, she's been nothing but the most conscientious person in all of Liyue. Even when it's time for her annual leave, Ms. Ganyu stays on duty at Yuehai Pavilion saying there is still so much to do. She couldn't possibly be using her mission as an excuse to slack off.
Oh, Paimon sees how it is. But she's half Adeptus. She wouldn't get in trouble, right? Why do you look so upset?
It's because of this absurd workload of hers. When we first heard the three of us would be taking over for Miss Ganyu, we thought it would simply be a matter of changing our work environment.
We couldn't have imagined that Miss Ganyu's daily workload far exceeds what the three of us are used to doing.
We don't even know how long we've been working. We feel guilty for taking even a short breather like we are now.
Looks like you got a serious emergency on your hands.
Speaking of Julian Karst, traveler, I've heard that you can go in and out of there as you please.
Of course, we've been there lots of times.
That's good news. Could you go to Julian Karst and find Miss Ganyu for us? Preferably before we collapse under this workload. We're saved. I remember Miss Ganyu said that she'd be visiting Cloud Retainer's abode. You might as well start looking for her there.
It's about time she came back to work. Otherwise...
No, perhaps we should go to Lady Ningguang first and bring up our overtime pay again.
Was? Hier werden Überstunden bezahlt? In welcher Welt leben die denn? Ist ja utopisch.
So
Habe ich noch nie
Ganyu
gehört,
left
dass
to visit
Überstunden
Cloud
bezahlt
Retainer.
werden.
Doesn't she live in Mount Aozang? We should hurry up. Paimon hopes we can find her there.
Aha. Ist es einfach weg? Nice. Ist einfach ein 2D-Image. Es hat Zero Depth. Geil. Ist einfach weg. Perfekt, Mann. Perfekt. Läuft. So. Ja. Let's go. Warte mal, war das der Kohlapis-Berg? Dann kann ich mir ein bisschen Kohlapis mitnehmen, wenn ich schon dabei bin. Ich meine, ich habe meine 2 Kohlapis-Leute schon gemaxt, aber falls ich irgendwann Chongyungo oder so leveln will, nee. Es ist nicht der. Es ist der eklige Berg, nicht der nice. Aber warum ist das einfach so mitten im Berg, dieses Teleportationsding? Man hätte es doch einfach ganz da oben hin machen können, zum Beispiel. Wäre nicht so viel höher gewesen und wäre deutlich chilliger gewesen, aber nein. Auch allgemein hier bei dem Wasserboss, warte mal. Hier. Das ist einfach im Boden, also unten drunter, das ist so. Okay, muss ich mich immer dahin teleportieren, weil dahin latschen kann man vergessen. Und auch hier, es gibt keinen anständigen Weg hier oben hinzukommen, deswegen habe ich mir hier einen Teleportationspunkt gesetzt. Weil immer wenn hier irgendwas ist, denke ich mir, nee, kannst du vergessen. Man muss ja erstmal 5 Stunden hinlaufen, also die Teleportationsdinger sind hier manchmal echt dämlich verteilt. Bin ich ganz ehrlich. So, bin da.
Person standing over there. That's Ganyu. We finally found her.
Wow. Guten Abend.
Ganyu, here you are.
You two. I did not expect to meet you here. Is it official or private affairs that bring you here? I shouldn't. I have left the human world. Please contact the Yua High Pavilion regarding matters concerning the commercial port.
Huh? You don't want to be the Chising secretary anymore? But they're all waiting for you to come back.
That's why you're here? You want me to come back? I'm afraid you came here in vain.
Ich dachte, Arbeit ist ihr Hobby.
Did something happen?
The clouds fold and unfold. The tide ebbs and flows. It was meant to be. When the Adepti entrusted
Auch gut,
humans
dass
with
du niemandem
overseeing
irgendwas sagst,
Liyue,
sondern sich einfach
I knew
verpisst.
it was only a matter of time until I had to leave. My Adepti blood makes me unwelcome in Liyue Harbor. I delivered the letter and came back to Liyue Harbor, only to discover that I had been replaced by Baiwen, Baishao, and Baishu. Perhaps that mission of mine was just a pretext to remove me. Since the Chising gave me a chance to leave with dignity,
Ja,
I decided to be tactful as well.
wahrscheinlich. Es gibt so Übergangsarbeiter.
I appreciate your kindness,
nö.
but there's no need for
Ich
your
wurde
words of comfort.
ersetzt.
After 1,000 years away, I came back to Julian Karst. Looking at the clouds floating among the mountains brings me peace of mind. I feel
Ja,
better
dann
now.
weiß ich nämlich, dass ich permanent hoch und runter muss.
Who disturbs the peace of these mountains?
Alter, was für Frieken, Alter. Die Deppen sind so komisch, vor allem die
One
zwei
merely
Kraniche hier.
jests. One felt your presence the moment you set foot upon this land.
Wow, you Adepti really are impressive.
Come here to chat about the old times with Ganyu. It looks like you get along quite well. A matter leaves you at an impasse then. Not to worry. One is exceptional at seeking avenues for conversation. One has been one's own companion in idle talk for many a year.
Ich hätte gern mal einen
Since you
Dialog
are
zwischen
Ganyu's
Adepten und
friends,
Fischl.
tales from her youth shall one
Das wäre
apprise
so
you of,
hilarious.
perhaps?
Das wäre so geil. Ich glaube, die würden sich super
Cloud
verstehen.
Retainer.
Oder gar nicht.
Nothing to be ashamed of. You were so cute as a child. One is most certain that your friends would like to hear of it.
Natürlich.
Paimon wants to hear it.
Little Ganyu loved when the horns on the top of her head were caressed. When one was still taking care of her, one was pestered most often to touch her horns. She was elsewise loath to sleep.
Wow.
Plump she was back then. Why, when she stumbled while we ascended the mountain, she would roll down to the bottom like a little ball.
Oh, stell dir vor, jemand erzählt. Das ist einfach wie cringe.
The day Ganyu bumped into a pilgrim was the first time she saw a real human in the flesh. So fearful she was that she hid in a rock's cleft for 2 days and nights. One found her wailing of a monster she had seen.
Cloud Retainer? It's
Fürsten.
about time for my training. I will take
Oh,
my leave.
Junge. Die Übersetzungen manchmal.
One's intention was merely to relieve the awkward tension.
Ja, indem er erzählt, wie so
To
ein
the
Berg
exact
runterrollt.
opposite.
Runtergerollt
Be
ist
that
perfekt.
so?
Hm?
But Returning to Ganyu, most gladdened one is of your arrival. One cannot help but feel that remaining in Jueyun Karst shall not be good for her. One will tell you more about her, if you should permit it.
Nee,
Most
nicht erlaubt.
benevolent among all Adepti are the Qilin. They drink only spring water and eat only whole grain. But perhaps the mountainous dwellings of Adepti in Jueyun Karst might be too lonely for her human side. Under moonlight did one see her last. She stood by the precipice's edge, and upon the mist-veiled mountains she gazed. Her thin figure was immersed in the vast sea of clouds. One noticed her loneliness, and sought to convince her to go back to the human world. But just then, she said thus.
Liyue Harbor feels even lonelier than Jueyun Karst. When I look at the sea of clouds in Jueyun Karst, I merely feel the loneliness of a solitary cloud gazer. When I step into the sea of people in Liyue, I feel the loneliness of an inhuman that doesn't belong in the human world.
Ey, das war ganz schön
One
rassistisch.
did, by chance, hear this much of Ganyu's thoughts. Alone, she will find her predicament hard to conquer. One hopes that you will accompany her.
Oh, Retainer's right. We can't leave Ganyu depressed like that. Besides, Liyue hasn't given up on her. She's got it all wrong. Anyways, what's that training Ganyu was talking about?
She has sought to reclaim her Adeptus side since returning to Jueyun Karst. At her behest, one has organized training for her to achieve that end. She should be in the southern part of Mount Aozang right now, preparing for the trial.
Huh, is that so? Let's go take a look then.
Ich fände es irgendwie komisch, dass es für Albedo kein Ding zu freischalten gab. Oder ich habe das freigeschaltet direkt am Anfang und habe es einfach vergessen. Kann natürlich auch sein. So, kann ich mich da näher hinporten? Ja, kann ich, danke. Ja, ich werde nicht für sie rollen. Brauche ich jetzt nicht wirklich. Noch ein Cryo-Support. Ich kann sie auch als Damage-Dealer spielen, aber Damage-Dealer habe ich erst recht genug. Brauche ich echt nicht. Und die restlichen Leute... Oh, ich hasse diese Updrafts hier. Die sind nicht zuverlässig genug, dass man sich, wie gesagt, auf sie verlassen kann, aber sie sind immer da, um einem das Leben zu ruinieren.
So here you are, Ganyu.
Why did you come here? Humans should not remain in the realm of Adepti for too long. Considering the kindness you have shown me, I can let you stay for the Adeptus training.
Ist so eine Glocke um den Hals
This
nicht hart
trial was
nervig?
prepared by Cloud Retainer. Its goal is to help me feel like an Adeptus again. The training is much to her signature style. I hope it won't make it seem like she is too unaware of the abilities of others.
Absonderlich,
Is it
trifft sich gut.
difficult?
No, I'm aware of your strength, Traveler. The power hidden within you is not inferior to mine. If you're ready, we shall begin the training.
Muss wahrscheinlich einfach Wolken anstarren. Nee. Ah. Yippie. Zielschießen. Ein Glück bin ich nicht an meinem Handy. Oh, jetzt muss ich fliegen, oder wie? Okay. Ja, optimal. Ich hätte gedacht, man gibt ihr die andere Waffe, die neue, die auch dabei war. Naja. Bupp. Ja, also jeder, der Cryo kann und fliegen gelernt hat, kann das. Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Puff. Na gut, für den Anfang muss man
There's
auch
a
schießen
lot of
können.
gliding around.
Also die
Does
Jona
feel
kann
like
das.
something Cloud Retainer would come up with.
Oh, Alter, ich es hasse. Danke. Echt, danke. Alter. Es war ja klar, dass das passiert. Es war ja so klar. Ich krieg die Krise. Ja, ein Glück sollte man hier eh runter. Diese random Updrafts ruinieren einem immer das Leben. So, was ist jetzt hier so? Achso, ich soll mich hier hinstellen, okay. Alter, wie langsam fliegt der Pfeil denn?
Ganyu's a really awesome shooter.
If you could see through the eyes of an Adeptus, you wouldn't be so surprised.
Ja, hey, ich will auch deinen Aimbot haben dann. Oh, die Pfeile fliegen so lahm. Komm. Okay, langsam wird's peinlich. Hä? Junge, danke. Also ich habe schon irgendwie gedacht, die Pfeile würden ein bisschen schnell fliegen. Dann kann man gefühlt schneller rennen, als die fliegen. Meine Güte. Fliegt der einfach in der... Oh, okay, der kommt... Ja, kann man schön reinladen. Immer gut. Habe ich eigentlich irgendwas übersehen? Wahrscheinlich nicht. Und diese Plattform macht mich immer mega nervös. Bin ich ganz ehrlich. Ah, jetzt sind wir im Dingens. Ich dachte, das explodiert in Eis. Ah, ich hab's nicht lang genug gehalten. Das war's. Hey, ich wollte mir das Kollabos holen.
We've
Naja, egal.
completed the task. What do you think? I agree. You possess many qualities similar to those of Adepti, despite having none of their blood.
Also ungefähr jeder kann das außer der.
Once your training was over.
The training's not over yet. The part prepared by Cloud Retainer is only the first trial.
Huh? So there are more trials prepared by other Adepti?
No. The only Adeptus who can unlock my true potential is
Who is it?
Hörst du
Conqueror
doch
of
einfach
Demons.
ausreden.
Huh. So it's Shell. That cold-hearted loner? How come he's prepared a trial for you?
I found him unapproachable at first too.
Ja, ich weiß nicht, ob
But I
ich
believe
für den
that
ziehen
being
werde,
able
wenn
to
der
face him
rauskommt.
is an important part of my homecoming.
Ich habe schon so viele
He's already waiting
Damage-Dealer.
for me.
Aber er ist schon
Come
ziemlich
along
cool.
if you're interested.
Of course we are. Let's go.
Let's go! Ah, cool, ich kann einfach runterjumpen. Nice. Hui. Oh, ich hätte safe eins aufs Maul gekriegt. Ah, wieder irgendwelche... Nee, okay. Ich dachte, das wäre wieder so ein Grasschleim. Die Grasschleime sind so nervig, besonders wenn man kein Feuerkeil dabei hat. Guten Abend, die Herren. Okay, willst nicht
You're
reden, alles
half an
klar.
hour late. I see you still haven't abandoned the wrongful ways of humankind.
I'm sorry. I had a meeting with Cloud Retainer.
I don't need your explanations and don't require any mutual understanding between us. I'm just helping you with your training. That's all.
Shell is such a strict teacher.
Nö, ist einfach
You're
unhöflich.
neither an Adeptus nor a human, always treading the line between the two worlds. It must create a lot of confusion. Instead of explaining yourself to me, you should face your true self.
I have nothing to hide.
The body and the mind are one. If something worries your mind, your body can help you find a solution. The trial I've prepared for you will explore the true potential of your body.
Yes. I'm ready.
Wenn es über die Szene nix auf R34 gibt, dann weiß ich auch nicht. Ah, ich bin immer so getiltet, wenn die Ult leer ist. Schlimm ist das.
The trial's begun! Paimon can feel it in the air. Even the weather's changed.
Solidify!
Ich muss sagen, ich finde es schon cool, noch einen Bogenschützen zu haben. Vor allem in meinen 5-Star. Ah, komm. Komm mal mit. Bisschen Bonusschaden, hat noch niemandem geschadet. Also, wenn man selber das kriegt. Aber ich muss sagen, der Playstyle ist schon ein bisschen lame. Oh, ich hasse diese Viecher. Ein Wunder, dass ich überhaupt einen getroffen habe. Okay, machen wir so, sonst treffe ich hier gar nichts. Okay, ich treffe auch so nichts. Ja, stimmt, wir sind way behind schedule. Weil diese Viecher so ungefähr die nervigsten Gegner im Game. Das ist allgemein, fast jeder Gegner in diesem Spiel ist todesnervig. Alter, nervt nicht. Ich hab gehört, ich krieg Bonusschaden, wenn ich hier drin stehe. Was? Achso, ja. Habe ich überhaupt einen Schuss getroffen, mit dem ich geultet habe? Nee, ne? Ja, das hat irgendwie getroffen, nice. Das funktioniert ein bisschen komisch. Manchmal klappt's mit dem Instant danach schießen, manchmal nicht. Komisch. Warum machen die Luftblasen eigentlich mehr Schaden als ungefähr alles andere in dem verdammten Spiel? Es sind verdammte Luftblasen. War das ein Hagelwitz eigentlich? All hail? Weil es jetzt hagelt? Oder ist es tatsächlich einfach heil? Wichtige Fragen hier. No touching, finde ich genau. Sehe ich genauso? Finde ich genau, by the way. Mein Deutsch ist auch genau. So, das war super underwhelming. Hat eindeutig zu wenig Schaden gemacht.
I've completed your trial.
You don't have to report back to me. Seeking other people's validation won't benefit your training. Only you can evaluate the result of this trial. You'll progress faster that way.
Okay, also sollte ich das einfach fertig machen und dann gehen.
Always had such strong opinions.
From tomorrow on, I'll start raising the difficulty of your training, so you'll have to...
I have to do what?
Another one of those pesky visitors. I'll leave him to you, Ganyu. It's also a part of your training.
Pesky visitor? So even here there are those that Xiao can't deal with?
Oh heavens! Blessed be Rex Lapis! I've finally come upon the Adepti! Are all of you the Adepti of this mountain? Great! My name's Sin Chung. I came to ask for your merciful blessings, O Adepti. I beg of you, please grant me luck, wealth, and a good career.
Oh, so it's a pilgrim. Huh. He can handle any battle, but talking to strange humans is a different story, huh?
Ja, reden ist eindeutig nicht seine Stärke.
You can say that I'm an adeptus in training.
Perfect! I didn't come in vain then. Although you sound a bit half-hearted. Doesn't matter. What blessings can you grant me?
Wow.
Warum kennt er eigentlich jemanden von uns? Pilgert der seit den letzten 10 Jahren hier rum, oder wie?
Adepti don't help every pilgrim for free.
For free? Do you mean that you charge people for the blessings of the Adepti?
That's not what I meant. What I'm trying to say is that everything should be earned through hard work and earnest living. It would be unfair to other people if you got everything you wanted for no reason.
Hold on. I've heard this all before. You're just like my old man, always nagging me.
Your father must have experienced it firsthand. The lives of the common folk are riddled with hardships, but are also full of joy. A person of your age should focus on work and family, instead of chasing after fairy tales.
Are you a real Adeptus? Why do you speak and behave like us city folk? You sure you're not one of those swindlers who pose as an Adeptus to cheat people out of their money? Ugh, how dare you reprove me? I bet you came here looking for the Adepti yourself.
He might sorta have a point. We did come here looking for Ganyu after all.
Ja,
Enough.
aber aus ganz anderem
Doesn't matter
Grund,
if you're
aber
a real
egal.
Adeptus or not. You're useless. I'm leaving.
Nobody's stopping you. Ganyu, don't let that guy ruin your mood.
It's not his behavior. The things he said, he was right. I thought that coming back to Jueyun Karst and devoting myself to training would make me feel like an Adeptus again. But being questioned by him made me realize that But I'm unwelcome in Liyue Harbor. As an Adeptus...
It's true! Just believe us!
So geil.
Alright, I'll go with you to Liyue Harbor. That said, I still trust my initial judgment. If I'm proven right, I'll return to Jueyun Karst once again.
It's a step in the right direction. Let's go!
Ist echt guter Content. Ich rede so 2 Sekunden. Und den Rest der Zeit lasse ich einfach das Spiel reden. So free. Gut, dass die ganze Mission immer da startet, sonst gibt es keinen Grund, sich dahin zu teleportieren. Jemals. Ja, irgendwie dauert das Laden heute noch länger als sonst. Ah, endlich habe ich mal einen guten Jump geschafft und der Fallschale ist viel zu insane. Warte mal, wie hoch war das? Das war überhaupt nicht so hoch. Auf jeden Fall nicht genug, um 10.000 Schaden zu machen.
We're finally back!
I'm still...
Come on, Ganyu! We're almost there! You don't want to turn back now, do you?
I suppose you have a point. It would be quite impolite of me to leave the two of you now.
That's right! Where do you want to go first, then?
I've spent too much time in the mountains. The first thing that comes to my mind is the sea. Let's go for a walk in the port.
Happy to come with. Let's dance! Don't blink! Hey!
Ah, ja. Ich weiß schon gar nicht mehr, worüber ich reden soll, weil ich nicht mehr gewohnt bin zu reden. Schlimm ist das.
The sound of the waves in this familiar port. The smell of the sea breeze makes me nostalgic.
Ganyu, you didn't leave Liyue for that long. Why do you look so moved?
Well, I used to be so busy. I haven't taken a stroll around here in a long time.
Huh. That's true. Ganyu seemed to be working all the time.
Well, when I think about my time here, I've spent most of it behind a desk filing documents. It put me in a certain mood, similar to the one I felt during my training in Jueyun Karst, in fact.
Why, isn't it little Miss Ganyu? I wouldn't have thought I'd meet you here. You were always so terribly busy.
This old man called her Little Miss Ganyu.
Gute alte Ganyu, let's
Please
go.
don't also start calling me that.
Doch, gute alte
Allow me
Ganyu.
to introduce Uncle Tien. He is...
That's all right. Just tell them the truth. They have done so much for Leo after all, and I am the one who has yet to introduce myself.
Uncle Tien is a member of the Liyue Qixing, the Tianshu.
What? This grandpa is a member of the Qixing?
Paimon immer sehr höflich.
Rank as Ningguang?
Hush now.
Und Kuching.
I must ask for your discretion concerning my identity. Fishing in the port and strolling about are the greatest pleasures of my life. I have no wish to be followed around by those armed guards. In most people's eyes, I'm just a forgetful and wordy old man.
Uncle Tien is too modest. He's been around for a long time. There's no one who can replace a person of such noble character.
Oh, little Miss Ganyu. Your kind words make me feel that my decades of hard work haven't been in vain.
Ich liebe es, dass
Uncle
ihr
Tien,
sein Mund sich nicht
A
bewegt.
person of your standing should really
Spiel
stop
läuft
calling
echt
me Little
perfekt.
Miss Ganyu.
Oh, my apologies. It's not intentional, just a childhood habit of mine. Thank you for looking after me when I first ascended to my position in the Qixing.
Gute alte Ganyu,
Oh,
Little
so
Miss Ganyu
you've
hört
been
sich
friends
komplett
for
anders
many
an.
decades now, huh?
Oh, I was just fulfilling my duties as the Qixing secretary. It's nothing worthy of your gratitude.
Talking about secretaries, oh, I don't know if I should bring it up. Ganyu, I believe you know my daughter, Huixin. She seems to be a bit troubled recently.
Yes, she works at Yue High Pavilion and she's my junior. How can I help her?
I don't know myself, really. She's all grown up now and doesn't like to ask for my help. May I trouble you to meet her at Yue High Pavilion? She just needs a bit of guidance.
With pleasure. Solving the Qixing's problems has always been in my job description.
She's back in character, just like that, huh?
Ja, wunderbar.
Let's move then to Yue High Pavilion.
Aber das ist halt echt ihr Hobby. Wisst ihr schon, an welchen Seele ihr euch gönnen wollt? Ich glaube, kann man sich den mittlerweile schon kaufen oder muss man bis morgen warten? Ich weiß gerade gar nicht. Ich nehme den goldenen, weil Gold ist beste Farbe.
Miss Ganyu.
Jetzt ist so viel Regen kann man hier auch gar nicht, weil 2 Sekunden danach geht's dann direkt weiter. Vielleicht soll ich längere Wege nehmen. Und dauert das ganze Video wieder 3
Indeed, it has
Stunden.
been a while, Huixin. I'm flattered, but aren't you exaggerating a little? I heard that you've encountered some problems and came to see if I could be of some help.
My father asked you to come, didn't he? Abusing his status as a member of the Qixing to trouble you.
Don't worry. I'm always happy to help a junior colleague from Yue High Pavilion.
Ganyu's not only a competent secretary, but also a great mentor.
Anders als Xiao ist nicht komplett
what can you tell me
unhöflich die
about the
ganze
problem?
Zeit.
Ugh, where should I start? I discovered something strange while organizing tax records. There are obvious irregularities in the tax declarations of 2 stores, Second Life and Wanyo Boutique. However, whether I question the shopkeepers or check their accounts, I can't seem to make any progress with my investigation. Without any evidence, my hands are tied.
I see. It's not uncommon for merchants to be blinded by greed.
Well, is there any solution you can advise?
Naturally. I've dealt with similar issues hundreds of times. Give me a moment to consider the best approach in this scenario. All right. Let's approach it this way then. Your enemy knows you best.
Huh?
If I remember correctly, Second Life and Wanyo Boutique are old business rivals, competing for market share due to their similar wares. In that case...
In that case... Ah! I know what you mean, Miss Ganyu.
Exactly. Let's start with
Das war ja
Wanyo
mega
Boutique.
offensichtlich, als er das schon
The
gezeigt
owner's
hat.
name is... Bolai, isn't it?
Yes,
Geiler
you're
Name.
right.
Bolai.
Follow me, please.
Follow me, please. Okay. Ich schätze mal, das ist jetzt aber wenigstens nah dran. Nein, ist es nicht. Einfach immer durch die Gegend teleportieren. Let's go. Na, guck mal, diesmal ging es aber auch schnell. Oh, wie ich es hasse, wenn es hier unter dem Ding ist. Schrecklich. Ich finde die Dive-Animation so gut. Ah, guck mal, den Kerl kenne ich doch. Bester Mann. Liebe den Kerl.
Ah, we meet again, traveler. And you must be from the Yuhai Pavilion? I suppose you're about to place a big order. I'd be honored to offer you my wares.
That won't be necessary, Mr. Bolai. Wanyo Boutique's credit is not sufficient to accept orders directly from Yuhai Pavilion. Should we need to place such an order, we would certainly go to Second Life instead.
What? Second Life? Ugh. That rascal Dongsheng. He's stealing all of my customers.
Well, Second Life's credit has always been excellent, and based on their tax records, their business is thriving.
Oh, tax records? Thriving?
Huh. Is there anything you'd like to share
Ja,
with
weil er
us, Mr.
seine
Bolai?
Kunden klaut.
Don't let that rascal fool you. I know his dirty tricks best. If you don't believe me, show me his tax records. I'm sure I'll find something fishy in there.
You know Second Life's business so well?
Of course. Ugh, their every transaction makes my blood boil. I'd rather lose money myself than see that rascal make some.
Well then, please look over this tax record. We'll review Second Life's credit based on your observations.
Oh, of course. I'll read very, very carefully. Line by line and word by word.
Der Kerl ist so geil.
Ah, here I found it.
Oh, ich dachte, wir gehen
That
jetzt zu dem
exquisite
anderen. Guck
wooden
mal wieder.
furniture set he bought from Fanmu Carpenters at the beginning of the year. Ugh, he even flaunted it in front of me. Look at the tax record. Not a word about that furniture. And he kept all the profit for himself.
I see. He must have gotten rid of all the documents related to this transaction. No wonder there was no trace of it.
I told you so. Just as I expected. Ugh, I can't wait to watch him squirm.
But, Ms. Ganyu, despite all this, can't he just flat out deny ever making this transaction?
He might have destroyed all the evidence, but I believe the supplier, Fanmu Carpenters, might still have some proof of it.
Aha, you're right. Master Lu from Fanmu Carpenters must still have the invoice. He wouldn't be swayed by the likes of Dongsheng.
I hope so. Let's go to Fanmu Carpenters. It should be near Chingsa Village. Thank you for shining a light on this case, Mr. Bolai.
Oh, please, that's nothing. I just hope you won't be lenient with him once you find the evidence. That's the best way to show your gratitude.
I'm
echt
afraid
bester
I
Mann.
can't go to Chingsa Village.
It's all right, Weishin. You can stay in Liyue Harbor and finish your work. Leave the rest to us.
Ah, that's so considerate of you. Still, I'm
Ja, das
sorry
ist
to
hier
trouble
überhaupt
you
nicht
like
willkommen,
that.
oder? Das sind so alle mega nett zu ihr. Egal. Und wieder quer über die Map porten. Let's go. Welt. Der Wort hat seine eigenen Gesetze. Wow. Danke für diese sehr aufschlussreiche Information. Ohne die hätte ich nicht überleben können. Nee, nur Bären. Nichts Interessantes. Yippie. Ein bisschen mehr Obst und Gemüse, von dem ich so schon 800 Stück habe oder so. Ey, dich kenne ich auch. Du suchst einen neuen Gehilfen, aber willst keine Hilfe.
Ah, welcome, welcome. How can an old carpenter like me help you? I am usually happy to take new apprentices, but I'm afraid I can't take too many at once. But I'm always around if you're keen for a chat.
Kingsa really is full of lonely old people.
Okay, die Übersetzung war ja
Hey, I
komplett
heard that,
anders.
Flying one.
Paimon's sorry.
Master Lu, we've just come to see you and ask you some questions.
Don't worry, I know. You're from the Yuehai Pavilion, right? Why would the Qixing care about an old man like me? Well, whatever. You said that you want to ask me something. Ask away then.
You're very direct, Master Lu. I will be plain. We're looking for proof that Dongsheng from Second Life has been evading taxation. Dongsheng bought some furniture from you at the beginning of the year. Do you still have the invoice or any other record of that transaction?
Oh, it's about Second Life. It was a big order. How could I forget?
Sure enough, Mr. Balai was right. Could we perhaps borrow that invoice? We won't have any evidence to bring against Dongsheng otherwise.
Of course you can. But I'm not so sprightly anymore.
What's that supposed to mean?
Habe ich mich auch halt gefragt.
I only do my woodwork and display finished wares here at Fanmu Carpenters. As for old documents and such, I keep them all in a warehouse west of here. But some troublemakers have recently moved there, invading my warehouse. I tried to drive them away, but they just wouldn't leave. Since you need that invoice anyway, it may be best to get it from the warehouse yourself. And while you're at it, you can teach those louts a lesson.
So that's what happened. I see.
I'll leave you to it then. I need to get back to work.
Der hat aber keine gute Haltung, sein Kopf fällt ja gleich ab.
Take back the warehouse, find the invoice. Time for us to show our stuff in a fight.
Wait, I think I saw one of those troublemakers. Ah, over there.
Oh, Paimon sees them too. It's one of the Fatui.
Was machen
They
die
must
denn
be plotting
hier?
something against Liyue Harbor.
Maybe they're the scoundrels who invaded Master Lu's warehouse.
Ever since Osial attacked the harbor, the Fatui's reputation in Liyue has reached rock bottom. We won't cause a serious diplomatic crisis by getting into some small scuffle with the Fatui within our borders. You need not worry. Besides, I can already feel their malicious intentions. Consider it my intuition as the secretary of the Qixing.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's go teach him a lesson.
Wenigstens hat hier Paimon wieder seine Stimme. Habt ihr auch denn, erinnert euch noch an die Mission, wo ich keine Stimme hatte? War schon was. Ich weiß nicht, ob sie das mittlerweile gefixt haben, bestimmt. Wobei andererseits Fehler, die nicht mit Charakteren zu tun haben, dauern eigentlich ewig zum Fixen. Da hätte ich das anders machen sollen. Der ist doch noch gar nicht tot.
You scoundrels!
I think you've had enough. About time you tell us your
Ah,
plan.
schön den Pille mit dem Ding.
What plan?
We just taught you a lesson, but clearly you weren't paying attention. If you don't spill whatever you're scheming against Liyue, we'll be forced to use harsher methods.
I'm telling the truth. There's no scheme.
If you're telling the truth, then why would you, a member of the Fatui, suddenly appear on the outskirts of Qingsa village?
Fine. If you really want to know, then, well, I was about to.
About to what?
Lass sie doch einfach
Berries
ausreden,
over
Paimon.
there.
I must admit, I didn't expect you to come up with such a silly excuse.
It's not an excuse. I rarely have a free morning, and I heard that there were fresh berries in this area. Think about it. I'm here alone, and Jinxa Village is nothing more than a retirement spot for old people. What could I be scheming anyway?
Judging by how he's looking at us, it does seem like he feels like he's the victim here.
So you have nothing to do with the occupation of Fanmu Carpenter's warehouse?
Fanmu Carpenter's warehouse? Where's that? I swear, I only came here to pick berries, that's all.
So it wasn't the Fatui who took over Master Lu's warehouse after all.
Ich find's eh auch immer komisch, einfach random
I also
Fatuis als
feel
Charakter irgendwo
that
chillen.
he's telling the truth.
Ja, vorhin hast du noch gesagt, der wäre krass böse, also dem vertraue ich nicht mit deinem
I
Gefühl.
misjudged the situation and offended you. My apologies. Our exchange only represents my personal views. If you wish it so, you can file a complaint to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Exchange? This woman, she's clearly aware that the Ministry of Civil Affairs wouldn't side with us Fatui.
Yes, precisely. As an alternative, you may try to solve this problem with force once again.
Paimon's in!
Darn you. How can you wear that solemn face while bullying me like this?
What's your choice then?
Tja,
I'll
Macke.
get back to my berries.
Das sind ja auch nur normale Leute.
What a bittersweet ending.
I made a laughingstock out of myself. I might have spent too much time away from work. My intuition is not as accurate as it used to be.
No worries. It's always nice to teach the Fatui a lesson.
Let's keep moving towards Master Lu's warehouse. Our goal is to get the invoice, after all.
So, das war jetzt eine schöne Zeitverschwendung. Angenehm, angenehm. Ja, ich glaube, das wird dann einfach noch länger, das Video hier. Schön. Aber Views kriege ich ja, sind mir eh egal, also von daher. Kann ich auch schöne lange Videos machen, die sich eh keiner ankaut. Ankaut, genau. Ankauen sowieso nicht. Hallo? Ich stehe auf irgendeinem Stein. Kannst die Figur nicht wechseln. Bruder, ich stehe auf einem Stein. Gut, der wäre weg. Danke. Ist das dein Ernst? Ah, Bruder, bist du nervig. Gut, ihr geht dann wahrscheinlich eh aus Versehen durch. Oh nee. Okay. Das dauert nicht so lange.
This one is an invoice from One Min Restaurant. Some dining tables and chairs. That's not it.
Hängen wir wieder an irgendeinem Stuhl fest.
Wangsheng Funeral Parlors. Oh, so they make coffins too.
Wer hätte das gedacht? Song Lee macht in seinem Funeral-Dingens auch Särge. Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Ah, noch jemand, der aufs Maul will. Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Ah, die Movement von Kuching ist schon richtig nice, wenn man irgendwo einfach durch die Gegend laufen muss. Oh, eine Kiste. Ja, Mann. Oh, yippie. Wir haben es gefunden. Woo. Es lag einfach so mitten in der Gegend rum. Es hat geregnet. Mich wundert es, dass man das überhaupt noch lesen kann, aber okay. Aber okay. Ah, die Flügel sehen schon nice aus. Ich finde, sie sollten dann auch endlich mal Skins für die Charaktere rausbringen. So, erstochen, perfekt.
Oh, Ms. Ganyu, you're back. I hope it wasn't too much trouble rushing about like that.
I promise to help you and I'll keep my word. Nothing to worry about. Look, it's the invoice for the transaction between Second Life and Fanmu Carpenters. We've brought it back.
Oh, thank you so much. Now we can solve this problem.
Agreed. How about we go to Second Life and have a nice chat with the owner?
Hey, wir können mal einen Boy... Boli, oder wie hieß der Kerl nochmal? Ich vergesse ansonsten seinen Namen, aber das beste Mann. Können doch nichts gegen den machen, der ist viel zu nice. Der ist so witzig, der Kerl. Komm, hier oben gibt's bestimmt was. Nein, hier oben gibt's nichts. Schade.
Isn't it Racing from the Yuahai Pavilion? I remember you. I told you that all of my transactions are included in the records. My tax declarations are scrupulous as well. I do hope that my business won't be affected by any groundless accusations.
Groundless accusations? Mr. Dongsheng, you seem very sure of yourself. But I sincerely advise that you cease this behavior immediately. It is liable to affect the fine you'll need to pay in the end.
No. I'm an honest merchant. I would never get involved with any fraudulent sources of profit.
Haven't I made myself clear? Mr. Dongsheng, you've already been proven guilty of tax evasion. I just came here to see if you'd confess.
What? Proven guilty? How come? That's impossible. Absolutely absurd.
Beste Worte. Absolutely absurd.
Under Ganyu's pressure. Time for the finishing blow.
Mr. Dongsheng, can you tell me what this is?
Niemand braucht.
It's an invoice from Fanmu Carpenters.
Paimons Kommentare.
Master Lu, I didn't...
Do you admit to tax evasion? This transaction was absent from the tax record.
I didn't think you'd find out. I didn't leave a single trace.
Indeed. We wouldn't have found out if it weren't for Mr. Boalai's aid.
Boalai? That imp from Wanyo Boutique? So he told on me behind my back. He's got his own share of dirty laundry.
Oh? Mr. Dongsheng, I'd like to hear a little more about this dirty laundry. Would you care to elaborate? I don't think you'll need my guidance for what comes next.
Sie ist einfach
Yes, thank you, Ms.
die
Ganyu.
Steuerpolizei.
I can take it from here.
That's good.
Von Drachenzwinger Stadtretter werden wir zum verdammten Steuerpolizei.
To think, you came up with this plan and executed it so masterfully.
It's actually one of your father's, the Tianshu's old tricks. I just took some inspiration from it.
My father?
Oh
Hitting
nein,
your
nicht der
opponent
Kerl.
against their enemies and watching them drag each other down from an advantageous position. That's how Uncle Tian managed to keep his position in the Qixing secure for so many years. I figured that as Uncle Tian's daughter, you'd naturally grasp your father's strategies. So, I decided to use one of your father's tricks and play it out for you to see.
I can see it now. Clearly, I still have a lot to learn about my father. I'm really grateful, Ms. Ganyu. You're the kindest mentor I've ever had.
Jeder hasst sie hier.
Thank you.
Auf jeden Fall.
Ganyu solved both Huishin's work and family problems. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Oh, you've helped me so much. You must allow me to repay your kindness.
That's not necessary. No need to be so serious. It was nothing, really.
Then let me treat you to a meal. The Traveler and Paimon are invited
Da
as
ist
well.
Paimon natürlich dabei.
I appreciate your help.
Alright, come on, Ganyu. Just say yes. Let's eat. Oh, come on. It's just a meal.
If it's just a meal, there's no reason for me to decline.
Wie
be
bleiben
my
Ganyus
pleasure,
Ärmel eigentlich
Actually, I've
perfekt
already booked
sitzen?
Senua Kiosk. I need a moment to prepare everything first. Let's meet there in a while.
All right. We dare not refuse such generosity.
So, gibt's noch ein letztes? Ja. Ah ja, ich brauche mehr EP. Ich bin komplett out of EP. Ist das eigentlich oben? Tiefer, okay. Dann tiefer. Bup. Bup. Ja, ne, doch nicht hier? Ich dachte, das wäre hier.
Senua Kiosk.
Oh, ich kann einfach reingehen, okay. Ach so. Das geht aber schnell. Boah, das ist ja schrecklich. Ja, geht auch.
Ms. Ganyu, thank you for accepting my invitation. And as for the two of you, your presence is also much appreciated.
Sure.
That's so kind of you, Huishin. You went to great lengths to organize this.
Truth be told,
Ich finde, in
apart from
Cutscenes
thanking
könnte
you
man
for all the
Teller
help,
und so auch mal
there's something I'd
besser
like to tell
rendern.
you.
Oh,
Und der Schatten sieht auch nicht so
if
geil
there's
aus.
anything I can help you with, just tell me straight away. No need to hesitate.
Oh, no, I don't really need help. Could you just listen for a bit?
With pleasure.
When I was a little girl, my father used to tell me many stories about you, Ms. Ganyu. Even though I have the utmost respect for my father, I always admired how gentle and reliable you are. I've only decided to join the Yuhai Pavilion staff because I've always looked up to you.
I didn't know that you think so highly of me.
However, in reality, working at the Yuhai Pavilion turned out to be an arduous task. I can't compare myself to such an outstanding secretary like you. I often doubt myself as a result.
I disagree. You're a great secretary in your own right.
Ja,
Thank
okay,
you.
Secretary, you're right.
Over the
Alter,
years, I became
das
a mother, too.
bringt einfach so gar nichts zum
So
Aussagen.
Uncle Tian is a grandpa.
Influenced by my youthful ideals, she followed my footsteps and came to be a secretary at the Yuhai Pavilion, too. At first, I was worried about her. It's not an easy job, after all. To tell the truth, I'm still unsure if she's capable enough. But after all that happened this time, I've made up my mind to support her choice.
So, what made you change your mind?
The fact that she'll have you, Ms. Ganyu, as her senior colleague. You'll help her, gentle as always, and tell her your mom used to do it like that. It'd be such a beautiful moment.
If it's not too much to ask for, she might still need your guidance in 20+ years, too.
Huishin, I never thought that I meant so much to you.
Just like when you showed me my father's trick. Having you as their witness makes people feel at ease.
Witness? It's true that I've witnessed thousands of years of Liyue Harbor's history. All the changes it's gone through, the stories of its people. But I've always regarded it as nothing more than the source of my loneliness. Huishin, you don't know how important those words are to me. You've made me realize that I share another connection with the people of Liyue Harbor. Apart from my contract with Rex Lapis, they rely on me, accept me, and long for me to bear witness to their stories.
Oh, of course. You're irreplaceable to us.
That's right. That's why I can't disappoint you.
Das Essen sieht so schlecht aus, das ist unfassbar.
Even if I've really been supplanted, I wish to fight for my place. I won't let you down.
Ah, so
I'm
6
going to fulfill my
Polygons.
contract and keep working as the Qixing secretary.
War gerade nicht so gut, aber die Übersetzung sagt auf jeden Fall nicht, dass sie gefeuert wurde.
I'm afraid that it might have all become a mess during my absence. No time to waste. Let's get back to work.
Good luck, Miss Ganyu.
We're leaving already? I'm still hungry.
Wunderbar. Oh, hat es eigentlich so lange gedauert, das zu laden. Das ist so ein kleiner Bereich. Und das Essen war jetzt auch nicht irgendwie krass gut aussehend. Naja. Egal. Junge, was? Das war so kurz. Oh, es ist schrecklich. Fallschaden ist so dämlich in diesem Spiel.
Baisha, are you okay? Did you fall asleep standing up? Look who's back.
Wie sie alle mit B
You even have
anfangen.
enough time for leisure? It seems you three are a suitable replacement for me after all.
Not at all. We've been working for too long. If we didn't take a break...
We wouldn't have survived long enough to see you again, Miss Ganyu.
Miss Ganyu, we've missed you.
That's so kind of you all, given we've only met once.
We've been praying day and night for you to return and take over your duties again.
To us, you're like an adeptus coming down to the human world to save all life.
Forget all our envious complaints from before. Just free us from this strenuous work, please.
All right, I see. Please divide the matters at hand into government affairs, business affairs, and civil affairs. Mark out the tasks that haven't been started, and those that are in progress. I'll take care of the rest.
Of course. We'll do it right away.
Oh, finally. We're saved.
Schöner Lichtwechsel.
Yes. There's one more thing. I'd like to earnestly thank you, Traveler.
Also,
If
ich
it
finde
weren't
gut,
for your companionship,
dass
I would still
wenn
be
so ein
embroiled in my inner conflict right now.
wenn es so eine Art einen Lichtwechsel gibt in Cyberpunk, oh, so schreckliches Spiel, super buggy, bringt die Entwickler um, aber wenn hier so, alles in Ordnung.
To think that I'd gained a human friend outside of work. It makes
Aber
me
mehr als
happier
Cyberpunk
than I
hätten sie
could
nicht
have
auf den
imagined.
Last-Gen
I'd like to
Konsolen
repay you when I'm done
releasen
with the
sollen.
work
Das
at
war einfach
hand.
dämlich.
What would you say if I accompanied you on one of your trips.
Sure, but
Das ist eine Lüge.
are you
So viel
ever
Geld
done
habe ich
with
nicht.
work, Ganyu?
Let's cross that bridge when we come to it, shall we?
Also wir machen uns darüber Gedanken, ob du irgendwann keine Arbeit hast, wenn du keine Arbeit hast. Okay. Alles klar, macht keinen Sinn. Aber braucht man auch nicht. Sinn. Ne? So. Aber okay, das Video hat schon wieder viel zu lang gedauert. Deswegen bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao. Ich hoffe, dieser absolute Top-Tier-Content hat euch gefallen. Bis dann.